Everyone, so at the beginning of this video already, you guys are trying to attack my ability to articulate myself because you are afraid of this court date we have coming up, huh? So, here's what's been going on, guys. So, I've already discussed one of the first video on here, I think, is about the fairness bar, right? And how whenever you are doing good at justifying getting what you want while others can't, they decide that your ability to do that while they can't do it is unfair and thus attempt to lower you below the conditions bar, which is, I'm just going to touch on this again just to kind of remind you guys, but also found some better ways to say it and kind of describe the situation that we're at because you keep increasing the amount of difficulty I have in my life and I know why, right? So in a regular society, right, where everything is just built of our collective actions, people's output generally gains them, let's draw circles around everybody, gains them a certain amount of return as a result, right? And when everybody's output is generally the same, everyone's return is generally the same, creating an even balance of what everybody has in that society. But let's say that for some reason, there's a high performer who puts out more and thus gets more, and relative to everyone else, it seems as if they're always peaking past the surface of what is just the general earning standard at that point. Now, obviously, this causes two issues. First, on an organism cellulistic level, the other organisms, the other performers that cannot reach this person's level are afraid of being outsmarted, outperformed, outbeaten, out-assimilated by this performer, and thus have an incentive to secure the survival of their own traits, to make sure that whatever traits these are does not maintain any consistent superiority to theirs as a result. So pretty much, you're more, let's say it like this, at a low cellular racist level, you're more accepting of someone being excellent when they are A, related to you, or B, look like you, because then there's an example of your traits getting success, which you can call upon to gain privilege from the rest of society. But if that person does not look like you, does not act like you, etc., then them being excellent and getting more stuff causes a contrast inferiority claim on your traits. Which is why this sort of aggression occurs. And then second thing is just regular jealousy, right? These people want to be better than everyone else, so if anyone's better than them, they would like to have a way to control and eliminate that, just for the sake of getting better themselves. But these people don't understand that that's not how you get this level of output. And so what happens is, society, as a group, lowers the individual high-performing using graduation of challenging conditions and restriction of resources to prevent them from peaking, meaning this person is set to a lower standard of living and opportunity so that their output matches the even surface of everything else. But what these people are not accounting for is this little dip here, this little fairness dip here. Where's all this going? Where's all this going right here? Where's all this going? They're not accounting for that. But here's how it works. So somebody does more than somebody else, that person gets jealous or becomes afraid or just wants to be fulfilled by seeing that the high performer fall. They go, if you can do that much, you're not special unless you can do that much. I thought that's what this was. So they use exaggeration murder, right? Which is pretty much because they can do more than you and it pisses you off, you say that they must be able to do anything to justify torturing them. And they're all like, what the fuck what the fuck is wrong with you? Like me, right? And so what happens is, all these individuals say, no, you need to keep going since you're better. Because it's usually like, how come he's getting more stuff than us? He's doing more stuff. How come he's just not us? All right, so that's what he said. You get more stuff because you do more stuff, right? Do more stuff then. And they keep going until they find a point in which that person can no longer keep going. Despite being a high performer, they themselves are still at a limitation within the environment because they have physically occurred. So what this causes is a group works together to find out where their limit is, and thus the group can, after discovering their limits, after discovering their restrictions, what they cannot outsmart, what they cannot beat on a cellular level, they put them down and they hold them at a graduated lowering of standard to make sure that their effort at all times is is never going past the surface of shared general standard. Now, what happens is a form of slavery, pretty much, where this person is no longer allowed to put out the same level of output as everyone else, because if they do, then because everyone's ignoring that this is happening, it looks like they're not meeting the standard anymore. It looks like they aren't meeting the standard anymore. It's a really fucked up thing. So, to put it like this, one of the ways that society gets away with this is by a turn-taking system in which they all take turns perceiving the situation, and then they claim plausible deniability. And here's how they do it. So this person hears that this guy works really hard, and he says, well, I need to see it. I need to see you work hard to believe it. Demands effort. This person comes in right after that. They say you work hard. I need to see you work hard to respect you. Demands effort. Person achieves it. This person comes in and says, I hear that you work hard. I need to see it to respect you. Demands effort. This person says, I hear that you work hard. I need to see it in order to respect you and allow you to have the things that you have without me having the intention to steal it from you on the cellular level. And then eventually the last guy says, I hear you work hard, yada yada, it's a repetition. They find the limit of where the guy can keep going. And then this guy, they isolate his perspective, take it away from everything else. And this guy says, see, they don't deserve what they have. They're lazy. They won't keep going. That's why their life is getting hard. It's not because we're all lining up against them and taking from them out of jealousy and fear. It's because they're just not working hard from what I'm seeing. From what I'm seeing, they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to keep going. They're lazy. And so, pretty much this is what I write here. Oh yeah. It's pretty much like, I thought you were better. I thought you were a hard worker. I thought you were supposed to keep going no matter how tough it gets, right? All that unfair shit. And so, doing this for a while, a high performer can usually develop higher skill, and it's not like this wasn't their goal. It wasn't their goal to give the high performer better skill. It was their goal to destroy the high performer and keep them at a lower level, because once any traits have displayed any superiority, it's a threat for the rest of that petri dish's continued existence. Meaning every group that's in that discovered superiority will for the rest of their lives need that superiority to be eliminated permanently. And so the goal is not to make them better. The goal is to eliminate them. That's what it is. Once that person with the right structure and the right mindset continues going, and they develop a bit of like an infinity urge where they can keep going forever, no matter what. What occurs is, once again, remember the condition bar in the fairness video, where what is developed, and it's developed strategically on the molecular level, and here's what I mean by the molecular level. We cannot say everything we're doing. You cannot describe the difference between this movement and this movement at the level that actively describes all of life, where it begins and where it ends. But we are still doing these things. This is what I mean by manipulation, intention, etc. on the molecular level, on the cellular level. This is the kind of cooperation that is occurring against all beings who are superior, who are high performing, etc., etc. So, what occurs is a conditions blocking, in which it is strategically designed that a person cannot meet certain conditions. So for me, it's my birth certificate, it's my ID, it's my social security, right? And the argument would be like, I had my opportunity to get my social security this whole time, but the person who has my birth certificate has not sent me my birth certificate so I can do that, but it's not my fault. But it's not their fault either, and it's just the rules. They can't do anything about it, right? So this conditions block is pretty much so if the high performer can keep going, then there's still a way to control and restrict them just in case. Like, so for instance, me, I don't have a car, and so if you still didn't want to respect me, right? You would say, all right, meet me here where I know that the buses don't run during a time that I know the buses don't run. And you need to be willing to walk half your day to get there, or else I won't respect you, right? And that's pretty much what this is for. So it makes sure that there's still a way to control the person. If the person is still going, if there's no way of stopping them, we said the demand is perform this that requires that you meet these conditions in order to perform this task. And then whenever you can't meet those conditions, the argument is we cannot change the rules for you. This is fair for everyone. You are not above us. You know, this whole, the rules aren't going to change for you, buddy. Who do you think you are? And what does that kind of remind you of? What does that kind of remind you of? It reminds you of a cellular organism who would like to assert that you are not superior to them, right? Isn't that what that kind of reminds you of? Okay, so now we're going to go up here. I love doing this to you guys. I love it. I love it when you guys get mad at me for just telling me what you did on a fucking scientific level. I fucking love it. I love it when you guys wanna fucking cuck and rape me and fucking make my life harder because I told you the truth. I love it when if you haven't caught my sarcasm, I don't love it when you do that. And I'm actually extremely angry on this level. I'm angry on this level, guys. On this level, I'm upset with you guys. On this level, I'm upset with you guys. Okay, so it can be said that survival of one organism requires that organism follows a set of rules and conditions in order to meet its survival needs. This, because society is just a collection of these organisms, means that we can look at the whole group of society as a cell that also needs to meet, which is pretty much just the accumulation of intentions and conditions on the individual level, the same kind of conditions in order for that society to survive and maintain its structures. For instance, if an individual does not meet a certain structure, their survival is reduced. That applies as society is just an accumulation of survival and intentions for many individuals. It means that if these individuals do not meet that condition, if the whole cell does not meet some certain conditions on its alignment, on its structure, then it will be reduced, right? Now, here's what goes on whenever, this justifies, this is what I mean by, even if you aren't personally attacking me, even if you're avoiding me, even if you're avoiding the story, even if you're avoiding the news story, what's up, Diddy? I know you're trying to get at me. It still means that because you are participating in a cell that would...
Did they come deliver a package from UPS?
I didn't see it.
No. The mechanic next door said it's his, and then someone signed for it, David Garcia.
I'll help you look in a minute, man. I don't know.
Alright. Do you know if Fern is here?
No, I don't think so. One of them's likely to be here because Fern's truck is in the shop still.
Car's here?
Yeah, the car's here. No, I don't know. No, the car's not here, but likely one of them's still here just because the truck is in the shop. All right. So, what happens whenever the group attacks an individual who is high performing in order to reduce them to the fairness bar?
Because Jason's asking, he's saying that someone got it and signed A. Garcia for it, and they took it here somewhere.
Somebody signed A. Garcia?
Yeah, like first name A, and then dot, and then last name Garcia.
That's interesting.
But I only saw, because I was cleaning today, and I only saw like a wrapper.
Okay, so once again, so when a cellular society attacks an individual for high performance, what they're actually doing as a group is, if you separated them back into their individual cells, is they are attacking the traits that they themselves want to have, therefore reducing their ability to say why it is fair for them to have easier access granted to those traits and abilities and skills, etc., etc. But because they're combined as a society, they believe that the whole attack, that the entire crime would just be lost in the motion of everybody being put together and amalgamated, and there's too much going on. What ultimately happens is, just as the individual needs to have their cellular structure combined and healthy, the societal structure also has to have its structure combined and healthy. And because ethical fairness is an important part of existence, it's a large portion of existence, because the entire cell is not being fair or ethical to the individual. If you were to remove the number of people inside of the cell, if you were to do one cell, what would occur is, you would find that this cell is attacking this individual in a way that it would not like to be attacked at all, thus reducing and challenging itself from the environment by conscious existence, saying, this must be fair for this creature. This must be fair for this creature. This must be fair for this creature. That's why they keep doing it to this creature that does not do it. And so this is what occurs. Eventually, you guys lose your structure, you lose your foundation, and you begin to fall apart. And as you fall apart, what you do is, and you've been doing this for a while. You remember all those videos I have about how you kept trying to learn how to piss me off like at the right stage? Well, that's called clip threatening. Threatening is what a dying cellular society does whenever it wants to eliminate a threat to its structure, a vulnerability to its structure that it keeps attacking. It attempts to find the triggers of that high performer and clip those moments in which they're triggered to claim some form of terrorism is being occurred, or that high performer is too high a threat and is threatening everybody. And what this attempts to do is assert a quick justification for eliminating that high performer whenever the structure gets shaken up and violated like it is. Now, you guys are really clever. I strategically was given a job today. I have to go there soon, and I had to spend money after having money taken from me, after having some money stolen, and it all makes sense now. It lines up, all right. And this is on the cellular level. Money stolen from me. I had to spend the last of my money to catch the bucks to get this job, which means that I won't have money to make it to my court date. We're not doing it. It's just life. Yeah, but remember, all of your intentions, even these ones that we can't say, like this, what do you call that, huh? Are still occurring, are still affecting the environment. And because you would not like to face the direct consequences of wronging me with a false conviction, which is something that you would like to do to control me, have a record on me that you could claim as a reason to be aggressive towards me because that's already what you want to do. You would like for me not to show up to that court date because that would be a way that you can claim on a paperwork level that it's not our fault. He didn't show up. That's his own doing. He didn't show up for it. That's not our fault. Right? And you think that that's going to pass, but it's not. You are weak. You are struggling. You are too desperate to make things harder for me. I suggest that you just accept that I'm going to get what I want no matter what. I suggest you accept that because the only other route we have is full-on war on this level. On this level. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have it on this level. So I'm assuming this court date is going to go fucking perfect for me because everyone's going to be honest and there's not going to be any fucking problems. That's what I'm assuming. He can't talk to us like that. People who purposely been torturing him, people who purposely made his life harder to try and kill him off, people who purposely tried to turn him into a terrorist so we could find a way to eliminate him, people that purposely tried to put him in jail and keep him from finding ways to escape what we're doing. That's so fucked up. He needs to learn a lesson for talking to us like that. Yeah, kill yourselves. Anyway, love you guys. Yeah, so I wonder what decision you guys are going to make. Now, obviously, I know what you're going to do. You're going to keep going, right? You're going to keep going because you are terrified. You don't want to admit to a superiority of another cell because you're at that low of a cellular dysfunction that's what you guys are responding to, even if you don't want to admit that. So I know you're just going to fucking go ahead and go through with convicting me anyway. I know that's what you're going to do because you want to show me that even if it's the only way for you to survive, that you would rather kill yourself on the cellular level. As a cell, you would rather kill yourself than you would admit that another cell was right and give up on your fight against them that you started. You would rather kill yourselves. You would rather make your lives harder. And then you would rather try and complain about life being unfair when obviously because you decided to fucking kill yourselves and make your lives harder, my cellular structure stays growing and strong and I get better. You cry and claim that it's fair to make my life harder. But it's up to you. I mean, you've still got time to change. You still have time. And I'm specifically talking to you, Judge, because I heard you. I can hear you guys. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can hear things on a cellular level, meaning your intentions, even if you're not saying them out loud, I'm fucking feeling them. And I know that you want to find a way to outsmart me. You want to find a way, huh? You want to find a way to show that I'm not as smart as I think I am, that you don't have to do whatever I want. Yeah, you want me to do whatever you want, huh? You want to find a way to gain control over me, but you hardly have control over yourselves. What are you looking for that for? You should be trying to figure yourselves out, Your Honor. I have a right to talk like this because of what you guys keep trying to fucking do here. Because that was really clever, right? Trying to get me to not be able to make it to my fucking court date. That was so clever. That was such a good chess move, guys. Unfortunately, this is checkmate, regardless of what you do.